glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link, it'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com, and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel.
Better go subscribe. You do roll with the tide. I'm down in the gun with Coach Smook. Through the game, roll tide, roll tide. Better go subscribe. TikTok.
Come on, chat. Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. It's your boy, Coach Smook, live from, I don't even know where I'm at. Where we at? Gentry, Arkansas?
Outside of Dentonville.
We right outside Dentonville, Arkansas, up in northwest Arkansas, close to Oklahoma. I'm looking at the river, and the river looking back at me, and I look like I want to cross it, y'all, at this point in time. But nah, man, welcome in, y'all. Hope everybody having a blessed day so far. I told you I was going to be live at 8:30. Had to do it a little bit earlier. Got to get some rest tonight. At least that's what the whoop say, you know what I'm saying? So y'all tap in. Appreciate y'all for liking the stream. Make sure y'all continue to share it up. We live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure y'all going to show some love on all those platforms. Hey, Twitter, don't come in talking the crazy stuff. We got some mods over there. Nah, y'all just don't know. But how's everybody doing today, man? We got a lot to talk about. Not going to talk about it all tonight. Going to start our summer vlog series off with some topics of conversation tonight, diving into our roster and the rotation. Hopefully everybody doing good tonight, man. And can y'all hear me well in the chat? Let me know. We don't have our normal setup. Y'all know I'm off at school and stuff, so we're just trying to do what we can do from where we doing it at. How y'all feeling tonight? Yeah, hey, we got the bot Ricks in the chat moderating. We got Facebook checking in. Hey, Amberly, good to see you. Appreciate the heart reaction. Appreciate the love over there. And then we got 11 popping. Okay, YouTube, we looking good. And then we got how many on Twitch? Okay, let's go. 34 over there. All right, so we're going to get this conversation started here in a second. But before y'all start, before we get into it, remember, if you want to become a member of this AAA family, man, y'all know the link is on the main page. Y'all seen the video. Go ahead and do what you do and continue to support. We're growing. We're almost at that 3K number. We're trying to hit that 5. No, we're almost at 4K. I'm sorry. I'm tripping. We almost at 4K. 5K before kickoff is the mission, y'all. And a lot of people said we wouldn't get this far. A lot of people said we couldn't make it this far, but you all keep sharing the network. You keep sharing the content, and people are taking a liking to it. What's up, boo? Good to see you in the chat. Good to see you. Good to see everybody, man. Good to see everybody. I love when y'all show up and show out and show love. But I know everybody's excited about SEC Media Day. If you want to hear about SEC Media Day, there are 3,000 other Alabama content creators that are talking about the same exact thing. So Smook ain't gonna talk about it. Go listen to what they had to say. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know we not sticking around for the extra stuff. Go listen to what they got to say and see what's going on with SEC Media Day. Y'all know we Alabama, the voice of college football, our Alabama channel. We have representation up there. So if y'all have not tuned into the live over there, the live content or the live content, make sure y'all go check that out. My brother Jackson and Manny over there, they're holding it down for the Bama channel until I get back in August, on August 1st. So continue to support those guys. They've been coming through supporting my content. And I ain't even been able to talk Bama football for real. So I appreciate all the love. But where we at? We at the 8-minute mark. 2 more minutes. We're gonna get this thing started. Anybody else trying to and another thing we've been doing too, before I even start getting into my little dialogue. Another thing we've been doing, I've been seeing a lot of people post content and different topics in the Discord server. So that's always good. Y'all want to talk about stuff, you want to hear me talk about it, y'all want to dialogue with me, put it in the Discord. Shout out to Megan. She's really been on top of everything, getting everything set up. And I hope do it look clean with the whiteboard in the back. I might draw some plays for y'all. Y'all want me? Let me get y'all squared away. Here we go. We're gonna do one of these right here. Get him off the line, put him out here. Go throw him off the line. Then we're gonna put the tight end. We're gonna put the tight end H back right there. Let's put the slot on. All right, what we running? Jet sweep motion. Let's get some jet motion with Ryan Williams. Bring him all the way through, get set. And we want to run the combo over here. We want to run the K combo right here. You know what I'm saying? That's nasty, ain't it? Right? Y'all see that? That's nasty. Ryan and Isaiah on the K combo. I told y'all the reason why I started playing around with the wide receivers routes and stuff. We are talking the wide receiver room tonight, man. We're talking the wide receiver room. Everybody's excited about Alabama's wide receiver room, as I am. You know, I'm a wide receiver myself at heart, at nature. That's how, I love to gravitate towards the wide receiver room and look at what the skill sets are in there. And this year, Alabama is really stacked. I think more so than we was last year. A lot of old school Saban type assets were on the roster last year. And naturally, hide the network and nah, we good. They try to tap into that, they crazy. Yeah, we out here. But just the old way of doing things, the way the offense was ran, the efficiency and everything, we see a change in how it's been done. So Coach DeBoer and Ryan Grubb this year getting the full staff together to getting that offense running and look locked in and how we moving. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge, chat. So locked in, we got it pushing, and we're gonna get into the conversation. So everybody's excited about the picture, and if somebody finds it, I can't find it for some reason. I thought I saved it, but everybody saw the picture from Bama Media Day with the 4 wide receivers: Rico Scott, Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard, and Isaiah Horton. You say those names. You think Cole Adams can stay healthy this year? Hopefully, Angel. Good to see you. Good to see a new face in the chat. And that's a start that comment right there, so we can talk about that. We're gonna get into the depth of this wide receiver room. But just those 4 names off real. Rico Scott being on that picture kind of solidifies what I said earlier when we did our depth chart. Speaking of the depth chart, let's see how close we look with our depth chart projection compared to what we are starting to see develop officially from the locker room. Let me tap in right here. And it's crazy because y'all know when we went spring ball, Rico Scott was getting a lot of first team reps while Ryan Williams was down. Everybody was kind of hype on Jalen Mbakwe being on the offensive side. I think he's still in that developmental phase to where next year he's going to have an opportunity to really contribute and he's got some quality guys to sit behind and learn. Being in that slot at the Z position. You look at Ryan Williams, somebody that came in with him that's got a little bit more wide receiver experience. You got Rico Scott over there getting a lot of run, and then Cole Adams. Guys that surrounding him that could really teach him the right way to play the position, right? And then Jeremy Bernard is one of the mentors in that room. So just quality guys to kind of continue to shape your game and your competitive edge around. And I think Jalen Mbakwe is taking advantage of that. He will have opportunities. He will have opportunities this year. I think he'll be a special skill set that is has a specific style of play calling, especially the first 4 to 6 weeks of the season. And then you'll see his game kind of evolve and be able to contribute more. So let's break it down, man. Let's break it down. Let's start with the starting four. The starting three. Alabama comes out in a 13 personnel set, man. 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. That's like our base personnel set. And I think that receiving core, and we're going to incorporate the tight ends too. A lot of times we forget how important the tight ends are in Kalen DeBoer's system, and the way that Ryan Grubb calls the offense. He's going to really suck the safeties in. He's trying to get them underneath by using the tight end assets. And I think the assets we have available in the tight end room is going to be hard to match up or put a strong safety or inside linebacker in one-on-one assignments. It's going to require a lot of bracket coverage from the middle of the field, and that's when you got burners like the wide receivers we have in our room that's able to kind of extend past that third phase type concepts. Offensive line hold up 3.5 seconds, 4 seconds, which is crazy to ask for, but it can be done. Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer have done it. They produced some of your most in the past, even with Jalen Murrow last year. You look at his completion percentage. Maybe not the volume of passes you want to see, but the completion percentage. They put him in a lot of good positions to be successful. Now, him completing it was another story, but we ain't talking about Jalen Knight. We talking about what's happening in 2025, what we expect. So, looking at that first lineup, man, Isaiah Horton at the X position, 6'4", 215, 220-pound wide receiver, 4'4", 9, 4'5" guy that's going to be able to stretch the field, but more so what you saw from Rome Odunze at Washington when Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer led that offense to that national championship where they lost to who did Washington lose to that year? Oh, Michigan. So looking at Rome Odunze and how he played in that offense, I think you see a more dynamic version of that with Isaiah Horton, the transfer from Miami. And everybody knows you just look at his skill set, man. He's not a big body route running receiver. He runs routes as if he's like 5'11", 6'1". He gets in and out of breaks very fast, and he has a frame where it's going to be hard tackling one-on-one in the open field. And he's not a guy that's looking to overpower you once the ball is in his hands. He will run past you. So that's a problem. You want to bracket that. Now you're leaving assets like Josh Cuevas, who's our tight end, probably going to be the starting tight end for us. You're leaving an asset like him, who's just a smart receiver. He's a smart, high IQ player, has a lot of experience in this system. Ryan Grubb was the primary reason he even left Washington to come to Bama, even though Ryan Grubb did not take the job last year. He should have gone to Seattle. Being in that system and having that continuity there, that familiarity, definitely helps him with being able to stay on track this year. What's up, Joseph? Welcome in, brother. Good to see you, man. How you feeling tonight? We talking wide receiver room, man. That depth, we're gonna start off just kind of talking about it, then we might have a problem. We're gonna talk about this problem in a few. So we talk about Josh Cuevas, his experience in the system. Slide over to the slot receiver, man. And this position right here, if it's Jeremy Bernard, like I expect it to be, the Z and the slot in this offense are interchangeable. What's good, MJ? Everybody popping in now. Y'all getting y'all notifications. Okay, I see y'all. Go ahead, come in. Pop your noise. What's up, big homie? Good to see y'all, man. Y'all know your boy out here in the sticks, man. I'm out here in the sticks, sweating. I might have gained 2 pounds since yesterday. I ain't gonna cap. Been eating good, man. But we talk about the slot position. I expect Jeremy Bernard to be that guy. That's kind of what his original assignment was going to be, transferring over to Bama, to man that spot and kind of help Kendrick Law along in that system, but help Kobe Prentice in that room last year. But because of some injuries and things that happened during spring, Jeremy Bernard ended up kind of manning that X position. Jalen Hill was injured. So you had Ryan Reeves playing a lot of Z. You had Kendrick Law playing in that slot. Kobe Prentice was playing a lot of Z. Cole Adams came in and started fitting nicely. Who else was in that wide receiver room last year that actually had some production? That's about it. That's about it. That was really able to contribute in some real facet, some shape, last year. So I look at Jeremy Bernard at that slot position, just his experience, and he's not the most explosive playmaker, but he's deceptive. With the ball in his hands, you see him turn, quick hitches, 6 yard, 4 to 6 yard hitches in the 24, 30 yard games because of his, agility, his ability to get out of, bad situations or to, create separation after the catch. So yeah, it's one of those things where we're going to see a lot of things coming out of that slot room. And I think right there behind him in that rotation, we're going to see a lot of Latsier Brooks when it comes to the vertical pass game. So at the slot position, I know we're talking starters, but I love the dynamic and the three skill sets we have sitting there in that rotation. Then you go to the Z, of course, healthy Ryan Williams, 18 years old now, got a year under his belt, put some weight on this offseason. And had to deal with a few minor injuries that kept him out of spring ball for the most part. But you're talking about a young man that got thrown into the fire from the time he stepped on campus. Ryan Williams has not been a part of what the future development of this offense. He has not had a chance to be not be included in the development of that. So coming into this season and the type of wide receiver skill sets we have in the room, I look for him to have a more efficient year. Maybe not numbers wise, but the 16 or the 14 drops he had last year, I don't see that happening because I don't see him getting as many targets with the amount of assets we have in that room. And you're dealing with a quarterback in Ty Simpson who's going to be able to read defenses. Like that's never been a question. It's the decision making has been there. And my boy Marquia Saint said, "Who's spinning the ball this year, man? Ty Simpson." I'm definitely a Keelan Russell supporter. I can't wait to see the young man take the helm. But Ty Simpson is ready, and I think he's more than able to do so with the skill sets we're talking about right now. And then let's talk about that second rotation of guys. Or let's do this. Let's go to receiving sets. Let's go to our 4 wide receiver set. Everybody's excited about that picture when you add Rico Scott to that lineup. And it's crazy because you could literally be interchangeable outside of Isaiah Horton. You don't necessarily want him being in the slot, but guys like Rico Scott, that could come in and be your 4th wide receiver and be that other slot asset. You got a bigger body that you could get twin sets with he and Isaiah Horton and their catch radius with those two. The separation ability, Rico Scott is a lot faster than a lot of people give him credit for. So I look at all the dynamics in that room just with those 4 guys. And I'm trying to understand what secondary in the league, in the SEC, or what secondary on my schedule has 6 or 7 assets to really rotate and be able to keep up with all of those skill sets in just that first group of 4. Then we rotate. You start rotating. Let's get into the game. Second, third quarter, we're really establishing the momentum, right? Now you got to deal with Jalen Hill at the X position. You got to deal with Latsier Brooks and Mbakwe and the jet sweep motions and all the deep crossers and short crossers and mesh concepts. You got to deal with big body Danny Lewis and receiving asset Marshall Pritchett rotating at that tight end position. What's up, Darius? Hey, Darius, it's crazy. I'm sitting here in my class right now, and I'm gonna take a little quick right turn, real quick. No, it's a left turn because we got to go to Athens. But I got a Georgia fan over here, y'all. We was just talking about Georgia. He was talking some good Georgia ball, so I told him I'm gonna have him come on next week and sit and talk. We're gonna talk some Bama Georgia history, and then we're gonna give our predictions for the game. He's not a content creator, but he said he will rock with me. One of my classmates, man. So that's gonna be cool. But Darius, welcome in, bro. Good to see you. And so I say, bro, them bigger bodies, I feel like they're gonna open up with you so much, man. It's gonna be crazy. And that's the thing. You're gonna see where he's not the focal point, and when he does touch the ball, it's gonna be explosive. Because he's not attracting 3 defenders. He's not attracting double coverage anymore. So that in itself, you're absolutely right. That's going to be a big thing for him. But because of that, because he's not demanding so much attention, the ball's going to get spread out a lot more. I think this is a year where Ryan Williams really gets to pace himself and put not just himself, but the team in better position because he still can be a decoy asset, right? This is not a young man that's gonna expect something given to him. He's gonna last year after that Vanderbilt game, I didn't see Ryan run a bad route the rest of the season. Now, them hands was questionable, not attacking the ball and watching it through his hand, like watching it into his hands and securing it. That was bad. That was bad. Young mistakes. He's 17. You expect that sometimes. I don't care how many games you done played into your collegiate career. 17-year-old out there playing 60 snaps a game is unheard of. So I look at all the assets around it though. We was just talking about Caleb Edwards, not Caleb Edwards, Marshall Pritchett and Danny Lewis. I don't think Danny Lewis is gonna make the cut. I'm gonna be honest, and no disrespect to him. I don't think he's gonna pan out in this system. I think Marshall Pritchett is more of a fit. Jay Lindsey was having a strong camp. Lockwood had a strong camp. These are guys that are going to be more so H-back assets, but when it comes to the receiving core, Marshall Pritchett is different. He's has a lot more speed than Danny Lewis. He's a more solid in the line of scrimmage blocker, getting out in space, putting a hat on a body in space, especially downfield. You go look at his highlight film from high school. He's not afraid of contact, but the young man can climb the ladder. And we haven't had a tight end asset that you could really put in one-on-one situations in the red zone like we had when we had OJ Howard and Irv Smith. So you look at what even Cam too in his early development, in his green stage of being a tight end, switching from linebacker to tight end, you saw him be able to take advantage because he could climb the ladder. He had sure hands and he was a strong blocking tight end. So I look at the tight end room, man. Marshall Pritchett, looking for him to make a splash this year. And then at that Z position, I'm telling y'all, that's a funny position because you got Ryan Williams as a starter. And then behind Ryan, you're looking at Cole Adams. You're looking at Jalen Mbakwe is going to be out there. You're looking at who else am I missing? I feel like I'm missing the name. Rico Stott. He's going to play that Z position, even though he's the first slot on the field. His primary position is going to be at that Z. And these are guys that you're going to see in that jet motion. There's a lot of off the ball, creating that space off the line of scrimmage. So quick release move, double moves off the line. You're not touching. You can't get a hand on them guys. It's going to be hard to guard. And it forces you to bracket that type of alignment. Cheat your safety over it. Cheat your safety over if you want to. You got to deal with Jeremy Bernard, Lashir Brooks, those guys at the slot. You got to deal with Marshall Pritchett and Josh Cuevas at tight end. And don't mess around to be 3x4 on or misalign against a trip set. We all know Ryan Grubbs loves his trip tights. He likes to get that extended formation out there. So I just love the matchups. I think with Bama's wide receiver room right now, you can go 5 or 6 deep and still have matchup problems against any secondary in the league and on the schedule. So that's just a quick overview of the assets. And we still haven't talked about Derek Meadows, who I believe is still developing. If there was someone that I would say could surprise us with opportunity, it would be him. Strong hands, hard to guard one-on-one, another big body receiver. And just young right now in his development, if he sticks it out at Bama, I think he'll have a solid career. But that's the wide receiver room for the most part, y'all. That's the assets we have available, wide receiver wise, tight ends. Let's transition to this conversation. This was something, and Mary J, I'm gonna need you to get a banner up here. When we talk about this. What's up, Marquise? Appreciate you for stopping through, bro, and tapping that screen. Make sure you react on Facebook too. That help the algorithm and get people watching over there. But want to ask y'all this: with all the talent, all those names I just named in that wide receiver room, would this create a situation where we might just have too many assets? I'm gonna ask the chat. I'm gonna ask y'all that. I want you to give your answer in the chat since we ain't got the call in tonight. Do y'all think that the amount of assets we have in that wide receiver room is going to create a problem for how we move around or how we play those guys as far as playing time? I was trying to read a message in the background, y'all. My bad. What's up, Glenn? Good to see you, my guy. So my question is it too many receivers in the wide receiver room? Too many assets in the wide receiver room? Give me some responses, chat, before I give y'all my little breakdown, because that was an article put out, and we were talking at SEC Media Day. This is the one topic I will address, just because it sparked the interest. Kalen DeBoer was talking about the wide receiver room today at SEC Media Day, and not on SEC Media Day, but he was on Miller's Edge. And the statement made today, and Mike Rodak reported this today. He said Kalen DeBoer told Miller's Edge on Tuesday that Alabama is just different at the wide receiver in 2025, specifically naming Ryan Williams, Dren Bernard, Isaiah Horton, and Rico Scott. And I told you all, I kept telling people, man, and this is why I laugh when they call you boy a fake insider, because I'm literally sitting on the sideline watching Rico Scott, and Cam Calhoun go at it. And everybody knows Cam Calhoun. If we really want to, if we had a stat sheet, Cam Calhoun and Dijon Lee was all over the field in the secondary during spring ball. They were some of your best one-on-one defenders and created the most turnovers out of the secondary during the spring. Them and Zay Mincy, to be honest, Zay Mincy and Bray Hubbard over top is a nasty combo for our safety room. So for Rico Scott and to be going in and winning those type of battles against Cam Calhoun, who's projected a late first rounder right now, going into his redshirt sophomore year, I think we got some real assets. My boy said, I don't think so. Oh yeah, too many assets. He said, I don't think so because I think Coach DeBoer will know how to use them being a wide receiver himself. People forget that. Good point, Glenn. People forget that Kalen DeBoer played wide receiver. You can actually go find Kalen DeBoer's highlight film from college. He was a dog, man. He was a dog, sure-handed like a mug. But yeah, and Jason Jackson says never too many. Hey, we've seen it. We've seen when we had too many. The year that Alabama signed Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Devontae Smith, Terrell Shivers, Shadarius Townsend, all those guys got pushed into to the wide receiver room that same year, true freshmen. And you saw 3 of them emerge. Terrell Shivers had an injury that year. And Shadarius Townsend just was transitioning from being an athlete, running back for the most part of his high school career, had some receiving assets about him. And honestly, after he transferred, he had a solid little showing for that 1 year. So it can be too many. But when you have a system that's like 65, 67% pass, and then your running assets are really zone scheme runs, you're not doing the crazy extended option, all that fear, all that crap. When you really handing the ball off and putting your hat on the hat, zone scheme, pin and pull. We saw the pin and pulls run blocking scheme implemented last year with Alabama's offensive line. So when you have those type of that run style to complement your passing game, it's not hard to really lean on the passing game, especially when you have assets like we have. So one name in particular that continues to ring in across the Bama fan base just as a concern, because we know he's put in the work. We know he's done what he has to do to prove himself as a valuable asset for the squad. Jalen Hill. Everybody talks about Jalen Hill. We saw him make a big play his true freshman year against Ole Miss. Everybody remembers that. That's what kind of put him on the map, the game he had against Ole Miss. Then the injury, he was out the rest of that season. You come back with the transition with Coach Saban. And then you see, the injury in spring that keeps him out for the fall of this past year, comes back after another leg injury and has another strong spring. So I expect Jalen Hill to be a very intricate part of this rotation. Maybe not the top 4, but in this offense, and this is another fact. This is why I keep telling people, pay attention to the recruiting right now, and why I wouldn't be surprised if Alabama goes and signs 5 wide receivers in this class. 4 for sure, I know we're going to sign, but I wouldn't be surprised if we go and get a 5th one that's committed to developing and just waiting for his opportunity, but going to develop and be able to contribute in spots. You look at Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb's offense at Washington, the year that Michael Penix, the second year of Michael Penix, and the pass volume, we should see 2.5 times more passes. So last year, I think Jalen Miro threw a total of 265 passes in a season. That's almost like that's almost like old school Bama ball. 260 passes in a season. Yeah, And you look at the completion percentage, you would think that we were in a better position, but nah. This offense requires you to push the ball vertically in order for it to be effective. And Jalen Miller only had one ball for it when it came to vertical, and that was outside. You know, his post patterns were inaccurate. You know, the timing was pretty bad towards the end of the season, and a lot of it had to do with not understanding the protection in front of him, right? Or not making the keying on the right spot, you know, the right position on the defense. So I think you see that fixed, and even with the wide receivers and how they adjust their routes based off the coverage, should be a lot more efficient this year. Zach says, "I'm excited. We have all the talent we do because it's going to be hard to do." I'm excited we have all the talent we do because it's going to be hard to defend the game plan against it. Yeah, facts, 100%. But I look at what we're working with, chat. I look at what we're working with, and Jalen Hill, I think, is going to be so. For everybody's question about Jalen Hill, his input, how he's going to be able to affect the game, I think he's cool with being that fifth guy, that sixth guy, because in this system, 2023, you saw Chattin W utilize 11 wide receivers. 11 receivers played in 12 games that year. Now, receptions, you had some had 6, you had some had 17, 21. But then you had your primary guys. They had 5 primary receivers, 4 receivers and 1 tight end. No, actually it was 3 receivers, 1 tight end, and they running back. The second string running back had the most targets amongst all those passes, but you're talking about close to 500 pass attempts in the season. You're telling me I can't throw the ball 500 times with my quarterbacks and what I have available. I can't throw the ball 500 times and get 8 or 9 guys 10 plus targets in a season to keep them happy, especially young guys, you know. And then your veteran guys, you know you're going to give them opportunities to prove themselves. We saw it last year. Kendrick Law, Kobe Prentice had plenty of opportunities to prove themselves. Want to be assets in the passing game and receiving game, but don't want to block. You know, you can't do that in this offense. You can't do that. So can't wait to see that. Somebody asked about Cole Adams earlier. Let me see this. Let me see the Angel Parr said, you think Cole Adams can stay healthy this year? I mean, he had a strong spring. He finished last year healthy. So I don't see why. I don't see why he wouldn't have a healthy year. And my thing is this: if you have a healthy Cole Adams, Jalen Hill, there's situations where you need run blocking assets on the perimeter. Cole Adams is probably the most deceptive and most efficient blocker in this run game. So in this scheme, so I look at it and I say a lot of our efficiency and big plays are going to happen when you see a rotation of those second tier guys or the second group guys come in and be more efficient in the run game. And then you got all the running back assets available. It's a lot, man. Just the wide receiver room can affect the game so much if they just do their job. And if we utilize, you know, 7 to 9 of those assets, man, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to show this, to slow this offense down. Surprises in the wide receiver room. You could change banner now. Surprises in the wide receiver room. I think the surprise of this year, we kind of talked about it earlier. But I really think Rico Scott is going to surprise a lot of people. The Michigan game, he had sort of an explosive play. It wasn't sort of an explosive play. The jet sweep motion. He had an explosive play. Turned that should have been a loss of 3 and turned into like a game of 20 something against Michigan, but also had a big catch or should have had a big catch if he hadn't been overthrown. Same with Mbappe. You got so many assets, but I think Rico Scott is a surprise at his receiving core. And then also, like I said earlier, Marshall Pritchett. I think he's really going to turn some heads. Josh Cravens is going to demand a lot of the reps, but Marshall Pritchett, he's going to get phased into this system, and his skill sets and what's available for him, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. So I think we're in a good position. I think we're in a good position. Those surprises, those guys that we know are going to show up. You know, Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Horton. I think they're solid. They're going to be what they are. Look at Jeremy Bernard, just the experience, skill sets. I think he's going to be a day 2 guy at the next level. Nothing wrong with being a day 2 guy. Second round is not bad, especially for wide receivers in this class. I think this is probably going to be a stacked wide receiver draft class. Or having too many good running backs. Hey, you can have too many. And when I say, do we have too many? This is when I say you have too many, Can you keep these guys on roster, right? With the type of the share play, the reps that's going to be shared. Can you keep this type of roster together? And it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. What's up, Britt? Good to see you again, sis. Good to see you. I think the receiver room could be our second best group we have had. As far as like group of receivers or group on roster. Because right now I have the wide receivers as the number 4 ranked group on the roster. Rondo, what's good, my boy? Good to see you, my guy. Appreciate you for pulling up again. Yo, we got 124 total in the chat, man. Make sure y'all continue to run the likes up on the stream. Make sure y'all continue to share it. Yeah, man. Make sure y'all continue to share it because we got vibes here. We got vibes here. Talking wide receivers. Alabama Crimson Tide. That stacked wide receiver ring, man. They were talking about how Coach Chattin W, he said, and I quote, "This group is just different." And he named your boy. So that was cool to see that. Cool to see that. Just continue to, it's something about this, y'all. It's something about when Kalen DeBoer or Kane Womack say a certain thing, like when you mention a guy, like when they ask Kane Womack about Abdul Sanders Jr., and it's like a certain answers they've warranted the interest, right? And when Caitlin DeBoer talks about a wide receiver group being different, last year we heard E. Fisher getting better, this, that, and third. We know Coach Shep ain't gonna get them boys no credit from that. That's expected. He's the wide receiver coach. But when you talk about the head coach and he's saying they different, he's seeing something and he's excited. He's excited. I would have asked him compared to the group you had at Washington. Do you feel like this group has that same type of potential or better? And that would be a real question that he could really answer. Seeing how guys have developed in this system, seeing how quick they're picking it up, seeing the quarterback asset he has. I think Todd Simpson, man, is going to have a big year because of these wide receivers. I don't think he's a low carrying quarterback, and because of all the assets around him, he doesn't have to be. That offensive line going to hold up. It's going to be a solid year for him. Going to be a solid year. So we're getting to the end of the show, man. We coming up on 40 minutes. I want to ask you all, if you had to build your starting 4 wide receivers, or your depth chart for the wide receiver room by position, we're talking about the X, tight end, slot, and the Z, right? If you're watching this live, comment in the chat. But if you're watching it post live, leave the comment and hashtag put me in the game, Coach P. Put me in the game, Coach PMITGC. Right? Make sure y'all leave a comment. Put me in the game, Coach. And I want to feature some of y'all comments on the next short that we post about too many wide receivers in the wide receiver room. All right. So that's topic of conversation tonight. Is there too many assets in the wide receiver in the wide receiver room? Can we keep these wide receivers happy? Can Ty Simpson be the guy that distributes the ball good enough to keep 7 or 8 of these guys effective and create impact? Because I think he can. Can this offensive line hold up to keep this wide receiver room happy? Because like we were talking about, I think the wide receiver room is probably the 4th most talented group on the roster. You're talking about the secondary, I think, is pushing for number 1, and the defensive line. Secondary and the defensive line. And then number 3, I think the offensive line is there, right? Well, D-line, I think we give the edge to the D-line is because the Wolf position is considered a defensive end, in this scheme. Even though it's an outside linebacker, he plays more like a defensive end edge rusher. So that's what makes that defensive line so valuable. You look at the interior guys: Edric Hill, Jordan Renard, James Smith, Tim Keenan, Jeremiah Beeman, Asaya Fega, Stephen Boomer. Those interior guys, that rotation of those 6 guys at those 2 positions. And you look at the other side at Bandit, Keon Keaton, Kelby Collins, and LT Overton. That's a talented group up front. The front 4 is so talented. So you just look at how everything stacks up for Bama, man. If this team doesn't come away with 11 wins, it's going to be a lot of questions, from not just from the fan base, but from the players, from the staff, alumni, from the administration, the boosters, everybody that has a hand in how this program is ran. It's going to be a lot of questions. This team should win 11 games. So yeah, Glenn, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. So with that being said, y'all, I'm coming to the end. I got some homework to do. Plus I got to drop some videos to edit. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Y'all continue to support I know the numbers are down right now. It's because we don't have the space and time to do our lives like we want to. But when we get back home, August 1st, our first live will be, I want to say August 4th. August 4th will be our first live, and that'll be our countdown to kickoff. We'll be breaking it down and getting guests on the show. We're supposed to be linking up with Trent Richardson and who else on the show with him, y'all? I'm sorry. Is Trent? Is it Trent, AJ, and Chris Stewart? I believe it's those three. But when I talked to Trent at the 707, that was something that we talked about. Getting the panel together and talking some preseason talk with football. We'll be talking with Clint Lamb soon. We'll be talking with Clint soon. We'll be talking with Mick soon. A lot of guys, man. I'm gonna try to get back in touch with Ryan Fowler. We're gonna get Brody on the show. Manny and Jackson will come over on this side. Y'all know my brothers from Voice of College Football. I'm gonna try to get Kangaroo Black Fairweather Sub back over here too. I want to talk to him live, and I try to keep a straight face, y'all. I ain't nobody coming at it, man. Anyway, who else, man? I got some guys from HOC on Twitter. Gonna be having them come on, and they're gonna be, sharing their thoughts and creating conversations. Trent is coach. I think he's officially coaching the running backs at Hoover now. It was cool seeing him and Phillip Rivers out there this past Friday. That was cool. It seemed like it happened so long ago because of the travel I've been doing, but yeah, that was pretty cool seeing all that. Where we at? What Mary J saying? You're bad. All right, well, y'all, that's all we got for tonight, man. As we close out the last minute, don't forget, man, if you want to support in a greater fashion, man, we got direct donos, we got Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. Everything that you donate helps this content continue to grow, helps the channel continue to grow. You want to become a member, the link can be provided to you in the chat. It's $2.99 to be a regular member, and then got VIP status. I don't know if all our VIPs, Mary J, you're probably the only one that didn't get your sticker because it was only 3 of y'all, and you became a member of VIP. I think you switched to VIP in May. So we're gonna have to, get you straight. But and y'all, new merch, August, when we get back, we want to put the new link up. That way we don't have the old bonuses and stuff that we get attached for y'all buying the merch. It's going to help a whole new agenda for the 2025 season, in the season link up that we are planning. So continue to support, y'all. Continue to support and share your thoughts, and just keep it real with your boy. And remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be blessed. All my Bama family, Roll Tide. Everybody else, y'all be blessed, man, and enjoy the rest of y'all night. I'll catch up with y'all. What's today? Tuesday. I'll catch up with y'all Thursday. We'll be back live Thursday. Y'all be blessed, and see y'all on the next one, baby.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.